Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say, people, what you gonna do? You gotta get on the groove if you want your body to move. Tell me, baby, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really won't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. When you're dancing, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Sha-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down. Come on in. Get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get down. Get on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, baby, how you gonna do it if you really won't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Listen, baby, you know it. Oh, when you're dancing, yeah, you show it. Oh, when you move, 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 you know it. Oh, when you're dancing, yeah, you show it. As you move across the floor, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. Sha-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. While you're dancing, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Oh, 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 yeah. Get down on it. You move me, baby, when you move. Get down on it. 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 Get your back up off the wall.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to NBA Betting with Fiddle. Today is Thursday, February 19th. We are back from NBA All-Star break, and we have a full slate of games to break down every side, every total, a handful of player props, where the market has moved, where it is going to end up, and what is still actionable. Before we jump in to all of that great stuff, I have a few notes of housekeeping and I have one thought on today's slate. First, some good news. Get ready for it. We're bringing back 4 shows per week from now until the end of the NBA season. We are adding in a weekly Thursday show. So I know we're doing this now on Thursday because we haven't had it all week. So we'll be going live today and tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time to break down the card. But moving forward in future weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes, 4 shows per week. Didn't really take too much time off during the NBA All-Star break because I already did 4. This will be 4 shows this week as well. On Monday, we did a mid-seasons futures conversation with Joe Delera. On Tuesday, I hopped on and did 12 questions in a Q&A. Today, live breaking down the games. Tomorrow, live breaking down the games. 4 shows per week. The NFL is over. My attention is not diverted. I am not doing any writing on all of that stuff. It's less markets to pay attention to. That means I can do 4 NBA shows per week and be here at 11 a.m. for you guys, breaking down all of the card. As always, if you want access to all of the picks that we give out in real time, sign up for the WAP group that is linked in our YouTube description, our podcast description on the audio only feed, in my Twitter bio. If you're watching on Twitter, not only do you get access to all of my picks in real time, there's also plenty of gambling resources available, and we talked through some of them on the Tuesday Q&A and why some of them are so important. So a secondary metrics tracker that'll help track your CLV efficiency. I send closing line data on every bet that I send out. There's also NBA market ratings, which are updated 3 times per week so people can start to price the games themselves. There's a schedule grid so you know all of the rest advantages and disadvantages for each team. I think rest spots are pretty well priced into these slates. The thing is, the rest advantages and disadvantages, they likely tell a story about the way the injury report is going to go, and picking up some team tendencies and some data through scraping that information. So a lot of good gambling resources in the WAP group, not only my direct picks, a community chat, a community best bets tab, and of course, it's $100 a month. If you listen to the end of the show, we will give out a promo code. If there's ever a losing month, we will give the next month completely free. So we do not make you guys pay for any losing results. In the 19 months that the WAP has been active, it's happened 4 times. Now I got to share the odds screen from FanDuel, and we will go through each one of these games, every side and every total. We have Batlin saying Hawks and Knicks are his favorite spots. Mark saying, I caught a Hard Rock slacking behind the market and nuked Hawks plus 4.5 and money line plus 150, 5 units total. I'm a bit nervous, but I think I have to let it ride. Also, Wizards money line, some like-minded people to where my action is going to be, but that starts with the 76ers and the Hawks. Surprisingly, at current numbers, I'm not going to back the Hawks. I do understand Mark saying plus 4.5 and plus 150 if he got a lagging line behind the Joel Embiid news that he's going to still miss this game. But I actually think at this point it's 76ers or nothing. So if you did play a Hawks plus 4.5 and got a good early line, I think now might be the time to play some of that back and open up a good old Fiddle's middle with a money line 76ers or a minus 1.5 on the 76ers. Looking at these 2 lines here at FanDuel, say this often, the value of numbers is very important. Not all half-point moves are worth the same, but the half-point move on a minus 1.5 to a 1, and then a 1 to a money line, because there is no minus 0.5 in the NBA, those are each worth about 6 cents. So right now, this money line is only 10 cents more expensive than this spread, and that would make the money line the best available option right now. We also got some word on and some information on how Joel Embiid impacts the totals. Historically, Joel Embiid is a player that drives unders. When he would be active, the game total would move down, or when he would be announced out, the game total would rise a little bit. Now, why would that be? Joel is an offensive force. Well, he's also very good defensively. He's also an elite rim protector historically, but he slows down the pace a lot. It's really more of a pace thing with Joel Embiid, and he, operates in that mid-range. He takes his time to read the defender. He does go to the line very frequently, but he was generally a player that would slow the pace down despite him being efficient, and his defense would make up for a lot of what he provides offensively. So when Joel Embiid started this year, he actually wasn't as great defensively. He was a little bit slow-footed on his feet, and he was a little bit lagging defensively, and some of his offensive prowess was also not there. His efficiency dipped a little bit. And then recently, he's come on, maybe the last month and a half, he's been just unbelievable. So looking at Joel, when Joel was announced out, we saw this total drop 3 points. However, that was reactionary and line movement just reacting on the news. We have seen the bettors bring this back up to exactly where it was at 237.5. So now we're learning Joel is net neutral to the total, which I think actually makes a lot of sense given his current playing style and his current efficiency on both ends. And we are getting word that he is worth 3 points to the spread, because we had Hawks plus 4.5 before he was downgraded to out, and now it is 76ers minus 1.5. So a 3-point move on the spread, a 0-point move on the total. I actually think Joel is probably worth more than that against the spread, and it probably would have been 5.5 with him playing. We were seeing some signals of 5.5s in market. So I'm personally going to count Joel worth about 3.5 points against the spread. And if I'm looking at this right now, it would be 76ers or nothing for me, but it is going to be a nothing spot with me currently on the board. Oh, the note of housekeeping that I had for this slate was that it's very sharp numbers. This is one of the sharpest NBA days as we return to action, because these lines have been posted since like Sunday. So we've had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to bet into them. And we're also coming back from the All-Star break. So a lot of the teams are rested. There's no real schedule advantages or disadvantages for any team, just home court to factor in. And the injury reports are widely known, right? Like Joel was announced out for this game yesterday early on, and so we got word. Evan Mobley was announced back for the Cavaliers early on. So we know how these injury reports are primarily going to go. We have Kelly Oubre in, Quentin Grimes in, Joel Embiid out, Jonathan Kuminga out. We're not really going to get any more news that is going to really shift these lines in big ways. I've said at this point, in NBA betting, understanding the injury report is probably going to be one of the biggest edges you can obtain in trying to weed through the noise and find the signals in injury report news. And so this slate is harder to do that for, because a lot of this stuff is very known. So there are a few spots that I like, but this is a pretty sharp card. So if you haven't bet into it already, I would bet smaller on this slate. There are certainly a few spots that I like, but I would definitely bet smaller on this card. The Brooklyn Nets are at the Cleveland Cavaliers, a spread at 16.5 as the Cavaliers welcome back Evan Mobley, a total at 230.5. Now, these are just really, really sharp numbers. The total, more specifically, was at 230.5, dipped a little bit, has come back to 230.5. So a bit of a fight right around this number at 230-ish. I don't think we're going to see much movement side or total here. I will say for the Cleveland Cavaliers, during this break, I shifted this tab over to the NBA Finals market, and I played this 13-1. I shifted this tab over to the conference market, and I played this at plus 360, and it was tied with the Pistons, Celtics, and Knicks. I believe they were all tied. Maybe the Celtics were a little bit behind when I originally played that. But I do very much think the Cavaliers are a team to buy now, before we see the combination of Harden and Mobley together, before the Cavaliers get back Max Strus. The Cavaliers have definitely the best shooting in the Eastern Conference, and that's something I want to buy into as we get to the playoffs. The combination of Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Sam Merrill, Max Strus coming back, Jalen Tyson, who's been unbelievable this year as a rook. Is he a rookie or a two-way player? He's definitely a two-way player from a 3-and-D perspective. Evan Mobley's been stepping out a little bit onto the three-point line as well. Him and Bam Adebayo have tried to add that a lot to their game this season. And so the Cavaliers shooting is just unbelievable right now. And I actually think Harden makes the Cavaliers defense way better. Yep, I'm saying that. I know what I'm saying. James Harden, massive upgrade to the Cleveland Cavaliers defense. Fiddle, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you seen James Harden play defense? I know that's what everyone's thinking right now. Yeah, when historically it was Garland and Mitchell, Garland would get picked on for being small, and then Donovan Mitchell would have to guard up because Garland was there, and he would have to guard someone bigger, and then he would have to physically exert a lot more having to guard up. The one thing that we could say James Harden is good at defensively is guarding bigger players and guarding bigs in low post situations. And this allows Donovan to shift down and guard his true size player and comp on the other team. And it actually puts Harden in the situations where he's kind of better defensively. Off ball, he could fall asleep sometimes. But I actually think this is a massive upgrade to the Cleveland Cavaliers defense, and they have the clear best shooting in the Eastern Conference. So I am absolutely a Cavs buyer. I think they go into the playoffs as long as they stay healthy as the prohibitive favorite in the East. We're already seeing that in the odds a little bit, but I think they'd be an outright favorite against the Detroit Pistons, even without home court advantage in the series. They consistently take sharp action against the New York Knicks, even when they're not home. They'll be 2.5s in market at close, which means, neutralize home court advantage. And the Cavaliers might be the higher power rated team. So I think what we're going to see is the Cavaliers climb up market ratings and perhaps go to number 2 in the NBA, only behind OKC. So I have high hopes for Cleveland on the back third of this season. Big time buyer for me in the finals and conference futures market for the Cavaliers. I really do like betting futures now because, one, my bankroll's not tied up in NFL or WNBA like it is early in the NBA season, right? When most people are betting NBA futures. I'm not, because we're looking at those lines in like September. And so I'll bet a few win totals, but generally those are really high hold markets. Future, like championship futures, awards winners. I didn't bet any of those until now. Cavaliers, I don't think I have a single award winner in my futures portfolios. So I have some win totals, and I just added right now Cavaliers because I think now's the best time to jump in the market and possibly equal to, or maybe one of the best prices that we've seen this season on the Cavaliers in the futures market. So I waited. I didn't tie up any of that money. I had it to churn my bankroll for the NFL season, for the finals of the WNBA season, and now I can re-put it back into the market and not need everything available and liquid. So Cavaliers in futures markets, sign me up. Houston Rockets are playing against the Charlotte Hornets. I played the over 215.5, still would play it at 216.5. I'm going to check in with market right now. Yeah, we're seeing circa 217. Everywhere else, 216.5. Bookmaker, 216.5, minus 110s both ways. I definitely like this over right now. It's probably a pretty sharp number. I'm hoping LaMelo Ball plays after being in the car accident yesterday. His Hummer got into a little bit of an accident. He seemed fine when he was on the side of the car from the videos and photos that emerged. Not even listed on the injury report, so hopefully he will be good to go. We have Grant Williams, Dorian Finney-Smith playing, Kobe White out, suspension to Miles Bridges and Diabate. So I do think that that Musa Diabate and Bridges, like, they're some of their better defenders for the Charlotte Hornets, and I think they're going to be more reliant on offense. I also think the Rockets are going to try and push the pace a little bit this second half of the season and try and get out in transition to generate some easier looks for their offense that became very stagnant going into the break. So I do like this over. Rockets, Hornets, over 216.5. Now, anything that you play today at this point should probably be smaller plays, but I would still advise grabbing that 216.5. Best odds here at FanDuel, minus 108. Let's move on to to the Indiana Pacers and Washington Wizards. We have the Pacers just tanking outright. It is comical. It is hilarious to look at the Pacers injury report right now, and it says Siakam out, and then the reasoning: played 18 minutes in All-Star game. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Nembhard's going to play. Welcome back, Keyshawn George and Tristan Vukcevic. TJ McConnell, questionable. Neesmith, questionable. Micah Potter, questionable. Siakam out. Obi Toppin out. Zubac out. Obviously, Halliburton out. They're still listing Halliburton on their day-to-day injury report, even though he's going to miss the whole season too for the Indiana Pacers. They're like, no. We do at least have one real injury. Trust us. We have one real injury. It's Halliburton. This I said on Buckets last night. If anyone watched the Buckets live stream last night or listened to that podcast this morning by Action Network, I said Wizards plus 3.5 was a clear play because I think the line should have been 2.4. And so now we see juiced 2.5s, which means if you increase the VIG, it's closer to like a 2.3 in market right now. Shout out to Steve Fezzik, who's the creator of the using decimal odds like that. 2.4 was the line that I had in modeling this game with the injuries. So Wizards plus 2.5, plus 110, probably priced out and no longer a good spot. But yeah, I think that's spot on and fair. We've seen a little bit of under movement hit this game most recently on the total as well. So you can decide if you want to follow along with my Wizard stuff. Sent out plus 3.5 and plus 140 in the WAP group. At this point, I probably would leave it alone. The Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks are in the Garden. Did anyone see the Karl Anthony Towns interviews at All-Star break? It's like he came out with yet a third cat voice. You know how he's got the standard voice and then he's got the after all that? Halliburton also has two voices, but that's actually completely natural. I think Cats is more like based on perception and who's around, who he changes it for. Representing the Dominican, but being born from New Jersey, he was asked about Bad Bunny. Go watch the Cat interview being asked about Bad Bunny. Oh, well, of course I was watching. I'm like, did you just suddenly become an Italian, New Jersey, New Yorker, Cat? It was insane. Cat has whipped out a third voice. You should find the clip. I'll post the clip to Twitter in a bit. But a third voice from Karl Anthony Towns. I do like the Knicks quite a bit in this spot. You could decide if you still want to play the money line. I played the money line at minus 145 or some exchanges at around 59 or 60% or 60 cents, depending on how you view the exchanges. For me, this was a no-brainer Knicks spot. We didn't have word at the time when I played it and sent it out in the group at minus 145, or when I took a little 45-second video of myself on, I think, like Monday night or maybe Tuesday night, I can't even remember, and I said, here's my favorite bet on the card, and it was Knicks minus 3.5, and I was like, OG Anunoby is probably coming back. He was described as having a toenail avulsion, which is when something chips off. An avulsion fracture is when a piece of the bone chips off. A toenail avulsion just means they removed one of his toenails. Now, so that's obviously very painful because the skin under your nails has like really, really high sensitivity. But come on, a week off for a broken toenail. Of course, OG Anunoby was playing for a toenail avulsion. The doctor in me, Dr. Fids, who has studied some physical therapy and some anatomy and physiology, was like, OG's a bitch if he doesn't play in this game. So I thought OG was definitely going to play, and that's why we got a 4.5, and now that's where the price is in market. I even said in that video, I think this should be 4.5. So I don't see much value on it now. I would maybe still play a money line if you like the Knicks. The Pistons are still without Duren and Stewart. So these teams are about even in market ratings. 3-point home court advantage for the Knicks. Then you add in OG being back, Duren and Stewart being suspended. You get out to 4.5. And then there's a slight matchup advantage Pistons. So if it was just Duren, Stewart out, and OG in, I would collectively say that's worth more than 1.5 points. but I do think there's a slight matchup advantage for the Detroit Pistons. So we're seeing this at 4.5, which I think is the spot on correct line here. We have seen some movement towards the under this morning in this game. 2 points of movement towards the under. I was an over or nothing kind of player here. Glad I went nothing, so I will skip this. I was looking towards the over. It started to move up. I was like, damn, I missed it. I was right. Nope, I was wrong, and I'm glad I skipped it. The Toronto Raptors are at the Chicago Bulls. We need what's a baby bull called? We need a terminology for a baby bull. Calf? Chicago Cavs? I mean, I know that's a cow, but I think that might work because all their players are like 6'2". And so they have no height on the team. Gershon Yabusele at like 6'5", 6'6", if he's in heels, is their center right now. So the baby Bulls are playing the the Toronto Raptors. Line has bounced all over the place. Toronto -6.5, down to 5.5, back to 6.5, back to 5.5. We've settled at 6. The 5.5s and the 6.5 stopped fighting. They shook hands. They said 6, make it a deal. Deal. Total has dropped precipitously in this one as well. Now, a few years ago, we saw a lot of under action coming out of the All-Star break. Looking at the card right now, I don't think we could say that's true for this year. Hawks Sixers has moved up. Nets Cavaliers took a shade of over movement. I'm on the over for Rockets Hornets. Unders in the most recent 3 games that we've broken down. Since I did the Tuesday show and went over the Q&A, I talked about someone wanting to back team totals against the Bulls. The total was at 234 then. So it has harshly moved the other way. So that team total against the Bulls is probably now flat to market because originally it looked like it might have been like 3 or 4 points ahead and been a great ticket. The Phoenix Suns are at the San Antonio Spurs. Speaking about team nicknames, we've called the Suns the Buns. We've called the Suns the Funs. This game, they're just the Suns. No Dylan Brooks in this game. He is suspended with his 16th technical foul on the year, but Grayson Allen is back. Devin Booker is back, and I'm wondering if Devin Booker found his shooting stroke during the 3-point competition. He was a little bit inefficient to start the year. Couldn't really knock down his shots. Obviously was carrying more of a load offensively, and usage rates and being the primary look from defenses. It's very different than playing with Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal. Beal played like 22 minutes a game, played like 22 games as well. I'm throwing shade at a lot of players today and a lot of situations today. In this game, I took Spurs at 6.5. I'm no plays at 7.5. We saw this market get to 8.5 and then get kicked back. So again, a really sharp number here. Sent out 6.5 in the group, and even threw that in a plus EV parlay, which yes, I can confirm that is a plus EV parlay. Now looking at the other line that it is paired with. The Orlando Magic and Sacramento Kings take the court in Sacktown. No Franz. Ankle injury, still needs time to heal. Another 3 weeks until a reevaluation on the Magic. If I'm going to throw shade at the Magic right now, are you guys just trying to fire Jamal Mosley without actually, are you just trying to find reason to fire Jamal Mosley? It's really been some coaching issues, in my opinion, coming from the Orlando side and a lack of offense yet again, year after year after year after year. And their defense hasn't even been that good this year. They've regressed even though they've added talent. I would maybe play the under here. We were seeing 223s and a halves in market. It actually was 223 and a half earlier. So we actually see a point of over movement across the board this morning. So maybe it's just at the right number, but yeah, it just moved from 223 and a half to 224 and a half 2 minutes before we started the show. No place for me on this game. Don't bet it. Don't watch it. You want to watch no Sabonis, no Zach LaVine, no Franz. I'll pull up the injury report for it. It's a gross one. Malik Monk is back. Keegan Murray's back. So shout out to them. But no LaVine, no Sabonis, no Franz, no DeAndre Hunter, Not even a Dylan Cardwell, who's actually plays fucking tough on both ends of the floor. The Boston Celtics are going against the Golden State Warriors. No Steph in this game, but welcome back Kristaps Tingis Porzingis. He will be playing for the Warriors, making his debut against the Celtics. Now, I've noticed that anyone who gets traded this year happens to have a pseudo revenge game almost immediately. Obviously, Porzingis's revenge game would be against the Hawks because that's where he was traded from, but he was on the Celtics last year, so we could call it a pseudo revenge game here. When the Kings traded for DeAndre Hunter and they traded Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder, they played the Cavaliers 2 games after the trade. When the Cavaliers traded James Harden to with the Clippers and they traded Darius Garland, they played the very next night. Cavs Clippers. We're about to talk about a Utah Jazz and Memphis game. Jaren Jackson was sent from Memphis to Utah. This is Memphis's first home game since that trade. And so the first home game is going to be Jaren back in the building. Now, obviously, he's also not going to play because of the growth in his knee that he had surgically removed. But anyways, a lot of trade and then instant revenge games happening across the league, pretty much with many of the trades that we've seen. But the Celtics are going to be at the Warriors now, a 5.5 without Steph. I think that's the right price. It moved from 3.5 out to 5.5 once we got the word that Steph Curry went from questionable to out. They said he was going to participate in a scrimmage yesterday and see how he feels. Didn't even participate in a scrimmage. So I will say that. I don't know when the next Warriors game is, but I might even be surprised if Steph plays that one. So I might hit the team playing against Golden State early, because if he couldn't even get back to scrimmage yesterday, I'm not sure he's going to be ready to go in 2 days. They're probably going to want him to get in a practice. And if you've ever listened to Steve Kerr on a podium, now I'm throwing shade at Steve Kerr. If you've ever listened to Steve Kerr on a press conference, he's going to yell at you about something politically and try and send some voice memo out to the world. And then he's also going to complain that they have no time to practice. So I wonder when Steph actually makes his return. I was looking at the under here literally an hour ago, and it was 212.5. Now we still have 212.5 at MGM, minus 115 towards the under. We have 212 flat at Bet365. $4 Fanatics, best line in market, 212.5 minus 110. So if you want to get your $4.38 down, you go over to Fanatics. No VIG on the exchanges, 212.5 minus 109. That would be actionable in my opinion. ESPN bet 212.5 minus 115. So if you want it under 212.5, I wouldn't mind that. We are seeing this drop yet again. I was angry that I missed like the 217s in market when there was still some Steph uncertainty. Steph is not worth 5.5 points to a total. So this is more than just Steph Curry news, especially because he went from questionable to out, not from in to out. So this is more than that. This is definitely also a sharp side under in this game, but nothing for me here. Would consider an under. Denver Nuggets at the LA Clippers. Give me the over. I think it is still playable at 226.5. Let me look for best odds across the board. 225.5 minus 113 at Rivers. 226 flat at Caesars and Bet365, and $6 Fanatics. Looking across. That is going to be it. But I think all of these numbers, I actually think everything in market right now is playable on this total. Even if you have the worst number, which seems to be a 226.5 minus 110 both ways, I would still play this. Here's my bet for Nuggets and Clippers. One, this is the second leg of the parlay where I put in Spurs minus 6.5 and over 225.5. So both lines have gained closing line value. That is how you make a plus EV parlay. Pair two lines, get the plus 264. You end up, if both of those legs or collectively have a projected 54% hit rate, which you can gain that EV by gaining closing line value, then you're going to project to return a 6% ROI instead of a 3% ROI betting them as straights. You do increase the variance a little bit, but it is a way to make parlays actually better bets and more efficient than straight bets. If you're interested in learning how to do that, go listen to the January 25th podcast. There's like the whole back end of it, like 30 minutes are just strictly on how to do plus EV parlays. So go check that out. But the reason why I like this Nuggets and Clippers over is because I think the Nuggets are going to come back from the break a little bit more efficient. Jokic's shooting numbers going into the break were dreadful. He went like 1 for 11, 1 for 12 from 3 against the Knicks. He was just shooting horribly, coming back off the knee injury. He didn't look totally like himself. I would hope that the time off gave him some extra time to heal. Remember, he came back early for Serbia night against Bog. This was actually a Clippers-Nuggets game in Denver, and Jokic returned back early from his injury. He was supposed to be reevaluated in 3 days, and then we get the Shams tweet, Jokic plans to play tonight, and it was Serbia night in Denver, and he was playing for his Serbians, and they timed it when Bojan Bogdanovic on the Clippers was also there because he's a Serbian teammate of Jokic. But anyways, I think Jokic's efficiency, because the time off, is going to improve. I also think the Clippers defense is going to get worse, losing Zubac. I also think their pace is going to go up, losing Harden. So losing Zubac and Harden, they lose that half-court pick-and-roll combo that they used to just spam endlessly. Now they're going to be running more transition, more Brook Lopez on the three-point line. They're going to have a worse defense because of worse rim protection. So I do like this over, thinking pace for Clippers goes up, efficiency for Denver Nuggets goes up. So this is an over spot for me. Anywhere in market I would be okay with. I think that finishes us for today's games, but I will go live tomorrow. I do just want to say, if Pelicans -3.5 is still available anywhere, I don't think that's going to be available tomorrow. Yeah, DraftKings 3.5 -112. So if you're watching the show today, thank you, appreciate you. Go bet Pelicans -3.5 against the Milwaukee Bucks. We will explain it tomorrow, but that has already been a bet for me, and I don't think that is going to be available tomorrow. Before we shift over to player props and doing plus EV props with BetStamp Pro, please drop a like on the stream. Thank you. That would go a long way. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know what your favorite bet is on today's card. Let me know what props that you are looking at. Let me know what props that you want me to go over. Now, I'm going to make a new rule. I'm making a new rule for the comment section. If you comment a prop that you want us to review, we need to know the price that you have or that you're thinking about betting. So if we have a Bane over 21.5 points, I don't know if that's -300 or +600. Now, obviously, I'm intentionally exaggerating that because it's probably going to be between like -115 and -145. But those are massive differences. And so we need this show, as I say, oh, I bet the Spurs 6.5, but I wouldn't at 7.5. Oh, I bet the Knicks, but I'm not sure if there's any more value because I think the line should be 4.5. This show is all about price sensitivity in market. So we need to start practicing that. Batlin, Wemby, 4+ assists, +170. This is exactly what we need to see. This is exactly what we need to see. We need odds next to the lines. I'll repeat this quite a few times over the next few weeks. But without a price, a line makes no sense. And what really pissed me off, what really grinds my gears, if you know the Family Guy movie, was the amount of Twitter people, not you people, but like those big accounts that are just pumping out threads of prices, being like, I like this player over 10.5. I like this. I like Bub Carrington over 9.5. Great bet. There's not a single price listed, and they send out, here are 6 bets you need to place on today's NBA card. None of them have odds. It's complete bullshit. Because these big accounts know. Sal Vitri, I'm looking at you. Frank Amoriti or whatever. Blocked him years ago, but I saw one thing of his retweeted. Giving out multiple bets with absolutely no odds. These big accounts know if they actually put lines there, then one of those accounts that tracks these public accounts would track them, and they would be minus 35 units since January 1st. And it's just like, yeah, okay, now we're seeing that as terrible advice because it looks good. There's a great write-up for it, and these narrative bets are fantastic. Oh, Bub Carrington's seen a usage rate increase since the trade for Trae Young to take his over 9.5 points. He's covered this in 3 of his last 4 games. I'm just making up some bullshit. Okay. But were the Wizards going up against a team with a worse defense where the pace was expected to be higher? Was the line 9.5 minus 110 and now it's 9.5 minus 136? And it's completely different. That usage rate bump and that covering recently is totally priced in. Was the previous lines 7.5 and now it's 9.5? That stuff is so irrelevant. Sal, good no lines. Yeah, get your shit together, Sal. So funny. That's great. That's great. Batlin, Jokic efficiency, such a great point. And he also liked the shout out to the plus EV parlays. Taylor, Jokic's birthday today. I usually don't like the birthday narrative to be part of my handicap, but I like his over 48.5 PRA. His minutes restriction should be listed. So I'm fine with the 48.5 PRA because I think it's a game total over spot. I think his efficiency is going to increase. Jokic would be the one player where he's like, oh, I don't care about my birthday. Just another day. It was my birthday a few days ago, over the last weekend. I am very much someone who doesn't care about my birthday. My birthday is also Valentine's Day. And my girlfriend wanted to do a lot of things for me. And I'm like, great, we're celebrating us. I really, really don't care too much about my birthday. We actually went to a sushi restaurant. Don't repeat this, she'll get angry. We went to a sushi restaurant. We sat down. The chairs were so uncomfortable, and it was like this sushi experience restaurant where like they have like a lot of like intricate types of rolls, and it's like very fancy schmancy. And we sit down, and these chairs are so uncomfortable. And I see at the table next to me a different type of chair, and I'm like, I'm gonna switch to this chair. So I literally said the waiter and the staff starts looking at me like I have 6 heads, and I switch the chair. I sit in that chair, equally uncomfortable. So I'm like, let's not sit here for an hour and a half, pay expensive prices for like experience. We end up going for burritos. Happy birthday to me. Happy Valentine's Day to her. Do I think Sacramento covers? I think the line is perfect at 9. It did drop from 11.5 to 9 without Franz. Sacramento would love to cover, but not win. Do you still like Keontae? Not most improved. Lots available now at 94 cents. Love it. Love it. Might jump back in the waters. That'll be, give it another 5 or 6 games. I don't think we see 94 cents the rest of the year. Do I think the LaMelo car accident or the KD drama will affect anything? I'm going to hope no to the first question. It's hard for me to answer that, but I'm going to hope no, that LaMelo Ball's car accident is not too impactful and that he's okay. I will say it's the second car accident in Charlotte sports in a little bit, because remember when Dalton got into a car accident and on the Panthers, and then they brought back Bryce Young, and it maybe even revived Bryce Young's career to be brought back at that time. The KD drama, I do think, will have an impact, and I think it's a positive impact. I truly do. I went into this a little bit on Monday's Futures with Joe at the end of the show. Human nature and psychology, you care more about proving haters wrong than proving supporters right. So whether or not that's KD, Alperen Şengün seeing like Alpi can't play a lick of defense, Jabari can't hit a big shot if it were to save his fucking life. Very true statements. 2 very true statements. I think they're going to, step up a little bit. I think it's actually good for Şengün to see someone shit talking his defense, whether that's KD or not. I think Kevin Durant and in the locker room will be totally fine. I don't think it's going to tear apart a locker room because of some Twitter drama. No, I think they'll be fine. I actually think it's good for the players to hear some negative things about them, because that will hopefully improve their effort and output on those ends. Garland is a cone, easy upgrade. Yup. YPA, I agree with you, Fiddle. Given how that's right next to the Garland's a cone, it's probably related to me saying that Harden actually improves their defense. Riley, 237.5 seems too high for the Hawks game. It has spiked recently. So I have no opinion on that. I can look quickly. Let me look quickly. Model, 76ers and Hawks, 237.8. I wonder if, you know what? I'll share it on the show another day. 237.8. So, no value. I probably should have played the over at 234.5 once it dropped and then started to go back up. 237.8. You like being that spot on. Okay, let's do plus EV props. Then we will skate on out of here. And of course, we give odds when we do our props. Not like Sal. You know which Sal I like? Sal from Impractical Jokers. Sal Vitri, on the other hand, not so much. All right, we'll do this book by book, and we will go through plus EV odds with BetStamp Pro. BetStamp is the odds screen that I use. I hope people who listen to the show tried it out for the Super Bowl, because they were having that 99 cents for 3 days offer. This is a very premium screen. Let me know if you used and took advantage of the BetStamp Pro odds screen and their $1 for 3 days offer for the Super Bowl. We will go book by book. Anything with a blue rectangle is an edge according to the market. You could sort by hold, edge, EV. You could sort by book. You could sort by game. You could search it. You can pin things if you're looking, and it'll always remain at the top no matter what you do. That Nick Clifford line will stay there so that you can come back to it later. Love BetStamp Pro. You can click it in. You can add to bet slip. You can then come over here and you could track it. You could parlay it. You could do anything you want. BetStamp will then not only track your plays, but they will add in a devigged CLV number for you. So they will let you know some good secondary metrics as well. Love BetStamp Pro. Check them out. They also do some good educational content to people who are associated with BetStamp Pro. Let's clear this. Okay. Sorting by, let's do edge at FanDuel. Jalen Johnson on the over, 41.5 PRA. You're seeing 43.5 at DraftKings, 42.5 pretty much around market. Bet Ampola. 43.5 juice towards the over. That's a pretty sharp book. It's the sharpest one on the screen that's pricing this. Pinnacle, 42.5 minus 126 towards the over. So yeah, this Jalen Johnson over 41.5 PRA at FanDuel, probably pretty good. Nick Clifford over 13.5 points plus assists. I know this is going to be something Ian and I both like. Been targeting some Nick Clifford props. When Ian sends me an obscure player like Nick Clifford, I swear the hit rate seems like it's 85%. He'll be like Nolan Traore over rebounds. I'm like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, hits. I'm exaggerating on the hit rate. But I like this Nick Clifford look for sure. I like this Jalen Johnson look for sure. I think you could put that into the points and rebounds market as well. Derek White blocks because of the volume of threes for Golden State. Maybe But yeah, those are certainly ones I like. Feel free to pause the screen on the books that you have access to, and then take whatever you like. As long as it has a blue rectangle from Betstamp, I support it. It means it's a good market number, which is what I care about. VJ Edgecombe, over 1.5 steals, plus 112. I like that. Going to be a high-paced game. Going to be a perimeter-oriented game for this Hawks Philly. I like that, certainly. There was a triple-double, or there was a double-double that I liked. What was it? It was Ron Harper. Let's see where that is. No, it was Ron Holland. Ron Harper's the dad. 32-1. It was 40-1 on FanDuel. I did like that. Now off the board. 32-1. Yeah, maybe. Anthony Simons double-double, 54-1. I mean, he's going to get the 10 points. Going to get 10 rebounds or 10 assists. Could get 10 rebounds because the Bulls don't have anyone over 6'6" playing basketball right now. Yeah, some interesting ones. Nothing screaming to me. Derrick Jones Jr. double-double. Does he get more involved in the rebounds without Zubac and without Harden? There's a lot of rebounding opportunities missing those two guys. 68-1. Sure. Caesars, always the one with the worst prop odds, and therefore very infrequently have market edges. Whenever we sort by Caesars, you rarely see blue rectangles because why? Minus 105 and minus 128. 33-cent splits. You look over here, 31 at FanDuel, 30 at DraftKings. So it just 25 at Bet365. So 25 cents right here for this Noah Clowney. So it's like you have the worst splits in prop odds at Caesars. Caesars is willing to take some sharp money too. Clean it up. Clean up your props, Caesars. Going through BetMGM. Nothing screaming at me right now. Oh, Nolan Traore. Under. Ian, he's been priced out. Nothing screaming at me right now in those lines. Bet365. Jamal Shead, I do think is going to start getting some more playing time, especially against the Bulls. So maybe a Jamal Shead look. Danny Wolf over 2.5 assists. That guy's kind of good. Sam Merrill rebounds. No thanks. Okongwu double-double. Maybe. Sure. Jarris Walker double-double. Yeah, sure. 7-1. 550 at DraftKings. Sure. No Siakam. Potentially no Micah Potter. Jay Huff will play, but he plays on the 3-point line on offense. So there'll be room for offensive rebounds if Jarris crashes the glass. Sure. Jabari Smith double-double. Angry Jabari game from the Rockets. Champagnie brothers. I don't like the double-double look, but the Champagnie brothers both wildly improved this year. Wildly improved. Okay, that is going to do it for us. Oh, I wanted to check the Bane numbers. I wanted to check the ones that the Wemby numbers. Bane points. Best number 20.5 at MGM. With an edge. J Main, if you have this 20.5 minus 105, I support it. Also, you made this comment before I made the rule, so you don't get penalized for not having a VIG. So solid, like this. And then Wemby, 4+ assists. Ready for some craziness, people? What do you mean? Where's the? I'm in mains. Prop. Wemby, assists. Now there's usually, I so rarely play Alt lines. How did I just do that with alt lines? I'll figure it out for next time. But you can actually sort by alt lines, and I could check on that 4+ for you. 4+ here at Caesars plus 128. So if you had the plus 140, it's probably pretty good to market. I need to figure out how I do the alt lines for props. Not really a market that I dive too deep into. All right, we'll worry about that next time. I don't mind it at plus 140 for this. Okay. That'll do it for today's show. Shout out to BetStamp for the best odds screen in the game. Shout out to everyone for listening. Appreciate it. 4 shows per week moving forward now. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have Drew Johnson with me to go over tomorrow's slate, and maybe we hit on some other topics. It's been a while since me and Drew did a show together, so maybe we'll go over to some of Drew's NBA thoughts, because he has sent me some corrections that the NBA needs to see. He does not like the 65 game rule. He does not like some of the all-star stuff that's going on. So we will tap into what's happening in Drew's mind in the NBA besides just the bets. Here are my 7 best bets on today's card. Houston at Charlotte over 215.5. I think it's still playable at 216.5. Wizards plus 3.5 and the money line at 140. I thought it should be 2.4, and we're now seeing juice 2.5s. Knicks money line minus 145 at minus 178 here at FanDuel. I sent out a small video at 3.5 when that was still a good line, around minus 160. Your choice if you still want it. But it is, I still really do like the Knicks, but it is priced where I don't think there's still much value in the line. Spurs 6.5, now it's 7.5. I would not recommend that anymore. Denver and Clippers over 225.5 at 226.5, and I do think it is still actionable. Denver Clippers over and the San Antonio Spurs minus 6.5 in a parlay plus 264 when you put 2 lines together that have no correlation fees, and that is going to be a plus EV parlay because they both gained CLV. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to Ian in the back. Drop a like on the stream. That goes a long way. And before we get out of here, we have one more way to see all of the bets. Hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks for watching. Peace. Here are my best bets on today's NBA card. I actioned these last night betting overnights.
Mr. New York City, doing action. I got a movie for when it's dripping. I'm in the coop relaxing. They say the roof collapsing. I got my paper up, although I'm still hear the scar fearing, foreign car steering. 60,000 pawn wearing, just be the trial hearing. You should catch me walking cocky out the courtroom. Like eat my dust, $140 for the poor soon. Back in population, we got them drops to waste them. We get money over here, what's your occupation? We on top of things, and we got them things. But we on selling birds, we try and cop a win. I know the real Richie Porter. R.I.P. left the hood to us, we own the corners. The bright lights in my big city.